Hey guys, and welcome back to Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This part we have our last bit of mid-chapter shenanigans, sadly. As you might remember, Peach was taken away, so we don't actually have a Peach section in this part. We jump straight to Bowser. So, yeah, no Peach this time. But yeah, Bowser and Poshley Heights is hilarious. It's hilarious because you can go out of your way to talk to people. I don't remember if I do that. Oh, yeah, I do. Because of course I'm going to. Um,
Get away from me, psycho.
I never understood hunting, personally. Like, I don't know why you'd want a random animal head in your foyer, but that's just me.
Uh,
Oh, this penguin guy just doesn't even believe. I wonder actually what happens. Oh, Bowser can't jump. That's right. Um, okay. Oh, I love slash hate this fountain because when you're playing as Mario, you can jump into this fountain and the chain chomp will still be in there and it will still bite you. So
Yeah.
I I don't.
What are those little things coming out? The water spewing out from on top of the shot guy, but is that a cannon?
Hold on. It's off
It looks like a
screen.
bell sprout.
It's off screen.
Evil King Extraordinaire, businessman of legend.
Koopa
Yeah.
It's me, Koopa Koot.
Koopa Koot's from the first Paper Mario.
Fear my accounting. Oh man! Suddenly, the live action movie makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Bowser Trump.
That's a wrestling name. And then your finisher would be the number crunch.
Yeah. Hey, Bowser did do a little bit of wrestling in did a little bit of wrestling in Chapter 3. So I also love that his temper tantrum breaks the lock. That's just great. So anyway, looks like Bowser finally gets a Crystal Star all to himself. Man, he's worked so hard for this, and we finally get to see him succeed. I feel so proud of that little evil king. He grew up so fast.
I forget. Why is the door in the background open?
Because the real Crystal Star
Went through there,
was
yeah.
hidden in the painting.
Okay. Hey, good thing he doesn't close the door on his way out.
I mean, you can go back in there, and it's the only way if you forget to tattle the dark booze, or if you don't get the Luigi badge, it's the only way to...
Koopa Koot!
Yeah, it's the only way to get those things, so you have to be able to go back into there, but there's no real reason to once you get those stuff, so... Oh yeah, so I love this part. He says it's a fake, and then I think Bowser drops it and it breaks.
Clean in half, and then disappears into nothingness.
Like all good thrown away items should. And this is also my favorite one. I gave the real one to Luigi.
Oh. What's wrong, Luigi? You know that feeling when something really fucked up's about to happen to you? Just got that feeling.
It's like someone's talking to me behind my back.
So anyway, I don't know how they managed to find out this, but this random Paragoomba figured out that Mario got all the crystal stars, even though Mario's on the moon at this point. So like, well, actually, it's not that weird because Mario's been doing a live theater performance of his entire adventure up to this point, right about now. So
Yeah.
I guess.
Didn't you catch the DVD?
So you know what? Actually, I think I just answered my own plot hole. So whatever.
It's the cassette.
Yeah, and so yeah, Bowser just doesn't really care at this point. He wants to fight Mario.
Well, I think at this point he realizes, okay, the crystal stars are now one convenient location. All I gotta do now is find Mario.
Yeah.
So is the detective mixing up Mario and Luigi?
No, he
Yep.
thinks Mario's name is Luigi.
Oh,
That was a running joke in Chapter 6. And when we eventually get our send your energy to Mario sequence in the end of the game, Pennington will say Greg Gonzalez, Mario, not Luigi. So he's just one of my favorite things about his characters is that he acts like he's super smart, but he's actually just a dumbass pretending. For some reason, I find that character type very entertaining, personally, and Especially since, in this case, he's not portrayed as a bad guy. Like, I mean, granted, I love those kind of slimy dumbasses, too. Like, they're
Yeah.
fun villains in their own right, but it's
Yeah.
not used very much in... Well, Pennington's not a protagonist, but for a helpful character, it's not a type that's used very much. So it's interesting to see it used in this way, at the very least. So yeah. But anyway, Tech isn't dead. Gasp. Um, so yeah, he's running on, I think, like backup memory and backup power, like random cache memory file. This is basically what your computer is like when you've just gotten a virus and you have to do a factory restore on the thing. So yeah, basically, I think he just tell. I think you can actually... No, you cannot actually skip this sequence. I remember now because I've tried it once. If you try to go to the teleporter before this sequence, it's broken or whatever, and then Tech will send all of his backup power to the teleporter in order to run it one final time because the base is about to explode, I think. For some reason, there's not really any bomb going off or whatever. But this segment is actually kind of touching because you've grown to like Tech a lot throughout all the Peach sections in the entire game, and he's basically giving his life or whatever for Mario, who was his romantic rival for Princess Peach or whatever. So I don't know. I liked it. So
Did did Tech even know about Mario as a romantic rival?
I think he knew he was a thing. He knew that the Axonauts were trying to stop him, and he knew that Peach was sending him all of the mail that she was writing. But he just was trying to find out about love from Peach. I don't think he's not dumb. He's the world's perfect computer, so I think he knew that he can't make out with a human. So yeah. I think at this point he's just happy that he's learned about all this.
At the same
stuff.
time, it's kind of irksome that in stories like this, whenever a computerized person starts to develop emotions, it's always romantic emotions. The one kind of emotion that they can't really enjoy. Like, I don't get it. Why not give them some other kind of emotion?
Well, it's said that he comprehends other sorts of emotion like anger. So in this case, it's his first. He was programmed to have feelings, and this is his first type of feeling of romance, and he doesn't understand it. It's that kind of thing.
No, well, I'm not really criticizing Mario. It's Paper
Okay,
Mario
yeah,
in this
I
respect,
get what
'cause-
you're talking about, and
yeah,
also
just general.
they're always attracted to women for some reason, even though robots are genderless, and so.
Well, no. Actually, whenever they have a lady robot, it's a guy, so it's not just women.
Really? I can't really think most of the...
I guess in Persona 3.
Right.
ED and Mass Effect.
Okay. I forgot.
Metropolis, sort of.
I like how we've reached a point in our lives where we can now discuss the lack of homosexual, lesbian, and bisexual robots in our fictional stories.
Well, really.
Tumblr just got triggered.
Well, like, first off, the robot would need to have a gender identity. So it needs that first off, and then it needs to have a sexual attraction, which is, programmed into the... I think we're diving in way over our head here, and we should change the subject.
Paper Mario, isn't that the BrainScratch discussion when they talk about a lack of homosexual, bisexual, lesbian robots and
lesbians are still
narratives?
homosexual. So it's just being attracted to the same sex. If you're... Never mind. Anyway.
Robot.
Triggered.
If you're a robot, can you be considered heterosexual or homosexual or any kind of sexual?
Robosexual.
You're a robot.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, we're just about at
How do I segue out of this?
We're at the end of the game right now. So that means that we have to get our final chapter preparations in order. So, since you probably got a fuck ton of
Nice segue.
of coins at this point in the game, you should use them to buy Ultra Jellies, because they are easily the best healing items in the game. Well, you could probably, cook something more efficient cost-wise, but really, if you've got the money to spend, you might as well spend it, so... Don't
Saves
worry, there's
time.
nothing that you can be locked out of in Thousand Year Door. As a matter of fact, you can walk all the way up until the final boss. You can walk all the way back to Rogueport if you want to and buy more items. So, excuse me,
Eh.
have at it if you want. There's nothing you can be permanently locked out of. It's a pain in the ass to walk out of the Palace of Shadow, so I recommend getting prepared before you leave. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I always, at the very least, recommend finding all the shine sprites before you go. You can, if you're missing one, you can go to the fortune teller, which is right next to Dazzle, who sells the Dazzle, who sells the badges, who sells the badges for star points. So yeah, and I would also definitely recommend cooking them together, cooking ultra jellies and jam and jellies and ultra shrooms into ultra jellies because it's just more efficient on your pockets because again your inventory is rather limited. A lot of people go through the Pit of 100 Trials before going into Chapter 8. And I mean, it's totally doable because if you can beat the Shadow Queen by this point, you can beat Bonetail. It's not that much harder. It's just most of the time I save that for after the game. I guess, if you wanted to be truly efficient, you could go through half of the Pit of 100 Trials and get the Strange Sack at the very least, so that you can carry more items and use more of the items you find. But that's semantics really at this point. And also, we can start buying the Super Luigi book. Yeah. I love reading those because basically it's a key item that you can use whenever in your inventory whenever you want, and when you read it, it's an even more jazzed up version of the tale that Luigi told, which was already most likely jazzed up. So,
Like a pure novelization.
yeah, although it does actually tell some of the story details that Luigi leaves out, because we're just about to get to Luigi's final story right about now. And there's a point where he says, and then a bigger monster came, and I fought him, and I won, and stuff like that. You actually learn that the Chestnut King that had captured Princess Eclair was like a mutated or a magically transformed version of Princess Eclair's true lost love or something, in that Crepe, I think, who was the guy who sent Luigi on his adventure in the first place, was the true mastermind behind the evil plan. And he was like trying to take over the Waffle Kingdom or something. I don't really remember. It's been a long time since I've read all of the Super Luigi books. And you have to buy all of them too in order to read all of it, which costs a lot of money as well. So I think they've got all of the dialogue up on the Mario wiki, so you can just read it there for free. But yeah, it's very interesting. There's a lot of thought put into the Luigi tales, and a completely extraneous part of the story too. So it's just, I love the world building in this game. It is it is fantastic and great, and I love it. So yeah. And also that's Bluey, the first partner he had out, and he's even
The
more
one I got
charred.
fried.
Yeah, and he's even more fried than he was before. So yeah. It's our final Luigi story,
Look at that
guys.
stare. I was like, man, fuck this.
He has ceased giving any fucks. He's seen some shit. Although actually, he's a lot more enthusiastic this time than when you first saw him, where he's just like, the first time you saw him is like, I'm sticking around with Luigi because he's gonna get what's coming to him. I tell ya, or something like that. And when you talk to him this time, he's just like, oh man, our adventure was great. You should ask Luigi about it. So I think he's lightened up on him quite a bit.
Maybe that's sarcasm now.
I don't.
Like, oh yeah, our adventure is great.
No, he seems pretty enthusiastic about it. I'm pretty sure I talked to him after this, so we'll see for sure soon enough. But yeah. Also, Toadsworth just is randomly here for some reason. Like,
All this time out adventuring for the Crystal Stars, and this place still hasn't fixed that leak on the roof.
I don't
And the
think they've
bucket's
got
not full yet.
Yeah, and the bucket's not full yet.
Well, they need money in order to fix it, and I haven't gotten to this inn once. So,
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing here is that this bucket has some sort of void.
yeah. Yeah, I love this. I beat him. I defeated the Chestnut King. An even worse beast came back next, but I beat it too. And, yeah, so it's a very anticlimactic...
And I had a late lunch.
Yeah, so you only hear the rest of the story, like, about I forget what the guy's name is in Crepe. You only hear all of that if you buy the book. So the movie version the Luigi story version just cut out so much character development, guys.
Yeah, the book was better.
Yeah. So yeah. See, it was actually kind of Yes, he seems relatively sincere here. So you get the feeling that Luigi just doesn't want to talk about it.
Up until that laugh at the end of his little sentence there, I think he's fallen off the deep end.
Oh, you get burned to a crisp twice, and it's probably going to happen. So yeah. But anyway, Professor Frankly will just be standing there waiting for you until you want to start Chapter 8. So next time we're going to be going to the final area of the game, the Palace of Shadow, which is actually I love that place. So we'll have plenty to say there. Until then.
Looking forward to it.